Welcome to this 30-minute practice where the focus of our practice is relaxing, is allowing the body to soften and relax, allowing our mind to just calm down perhaps and be a little bit quieter. And we can relax while still moving the body. I think sometimes we feel that relaxing requires the body to be completely still, and there is that aspect of relaxing. But we can also, soften and move the body, and that also brings us into a very relaxed state of being. So this is going to be a gentle practice, focusing on the breath and allowing the breath to enable us to feel relaxed as we move the body through some yoga postures. Starting off in a comfortable seated position. You don't have to have your legs crossed if that's not comfortable for you. Any position that is comfortable, and just close the eyes and get a sense of drawing your shoulders back slightly. Most of us tend to lean forward, especially if you work on a computer a lot, which a lot of us do. So drawing the shoulders back and just getting a sense of an energy extending up through the crown of the head. And that energy is just drawing the torso out of the pelvis, reaching us up towards the sky, the stars, the planets. And then allowing an exhale to very physically soften the pelvis into the earth. And inviting the breath to breathe into the sides and the back of the rib cage. We tend to breathe forward a lot, so inviting the breath. It may not feel like anything's moving, but that doesn't matter. We're just inviting the breath to breathe into the whole of the rib cage. And allowing the exhale to soften tension around the outside edges of the eyes, relaxing the lips. Observing the inhale. And inviting the exhale to be just a little bit longer. So really releasing, letting go. So that's not a forceful pushing out of the breath, but we're just inviting the exhale to be just a little bit longer. As we continue to feel that line of energy extending up through the crown. And that very grounding energy connecting the pelvis into the earth. Observing the inhale and the slightly longer, just more natural exhale. Not forcing or pushing. Just an allowing. And then from here, just gently opening the eyes. If you'd like to change over the cross of the legs, you can do. That'll be your non-dominant way. So maybe if you want to come into balance, you can change the cross of the legs. If you are sitting in cross-legged, or if you're doing something else that doesn't require that, then just sitting where you are. We're going to start off with some neck circles, but just being very aware and attentive to how your neck is feeling, okay? So again, we're not forceful or aggressive in our practice. It's always just an allowing and a working with the breath. So a soft exhale out through the mouth, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in, front, sides and back of rib cage expanding. Exhale, softening the chin down towards the chest. Inhale to roll right ear to right shoulder, keeping the left shoulder down. And then exhaling, just taking your head behind you. Be careful here, if your neck doesn't like it, don't do this. And then gently rolling left ear towards left shoulder, keeping the right shoulder down. And then eventually bringing the chin down towards the chest again. And then we'll do that the other way. So it doesn't matter so much whether you're inhaling or exhaling to bring left shoulder to ear, but you're just working with the rhythm of your breath as you gently open your head up towards the sky, leaning back. If your neck doesn't like this, don't go there. And then slowly the right ear to right shoulder, but try not to bring the shoulders up towards the ears. And then bringing eventually the chin down towards the chest. And then coming up, just bringing the head back up. We're going to gently, again, just trying to keep the shoulders relaxed, just looking over your left shoulder. And then coming back to center. Looking over your right shoulder, so slow and steady. And then coming back to center. So doing that one more time, just in your own breath, your own rhythm. And then we're going to continue that twisting, that rotation down the spine. Bringing your hands onto your chest, whichever, one hand on top of the other, doesn't matter which ones are which. And we're going to twist over towards the right, but really using the core. Okay, so that's why we want to get our hands out of the way, because sometimes we can use our hands and get a little bit aggressive with that rotation. So getting them out of the way by just giving ourselves some energy around the heart space. Inhale, lift up through crown. Exhale, navel to spine, front rib cage in, and then just twisting over towards the left. Take a breath in and just get a sense of wanting to breathe into the space behind the navel, back towards the spine. Exhale to center. Inhale, lift up through the crown of the head, don't move the torso. Exhale, so over towards the right, draw the navel and the front rib cage in, and then just twisting as far as you go, using that core strength. Inhale here, just imagining, intending the breath behind the navel back towards the spine. And then exhale back to center. One more time without the hands getting involved. Inhale, lift up through the crown. Exhale, navel, front rib cage, draw in, just twisting over towards the left. Again, a breath in, breathing behind the navel, back towards the spine. Exhale to center. Take a breath in, lift up. Exhale, take it over to the right, navel to spine, front rib cage in. And then a breath, just breathing behind the navel back towards the spine. To then exhale back to center. So releasing your hands. If you are legs across, just change them over. And we're going to twist again, this time getting the hands involved, but only as support, not as a kind of levers to jam the body into the twist, okay? So again, the inhale, lift and lengthen. The exhale is still being initiated to the left from the core. And then once you've got to where you're going, you can just gently place your hands on the floor, on your leg, but just be careful that you're not using them. You're not trying to force your torso deeper into a twist. That's eyes closed, the lengthening up torso out of pelvis on inhale. Exhale, the pubic bone softens back to sacrum. That initiates the twist. And the twist just might be really subtle. We're not looking for validation from the body that we're doing it right. This kind of misconception in yoga, the deeper I go, the better I am, the harder I try, the better I am. Yoga is actually about unraveling all those patterns of behavior that don't always serve us, rather than perpetuating them when we get on the mat. So no forcing, no pushing, no trying, just an allowing and a softening and a surrendering into the breath, and just letting the breath and the body work it out. Slowly coming back to center, we'll twist the other way over towards the right. Again, a deep breath in, lifting and lengthening. Wait for the exhale, start to twist from your torso first, and then you can just place your hands in a comfortable position, again not using them to jam your body into the twist, okay? Just allowing your body to respond to the breath, and maybe through the exhale the body does twist a little bit deeper, or maybe it doesn't. And we practice not caring, really not caring, not looking for this validation that we're doing something right, or that the harder we try and we're ticking all the boxes. This is learned behavior, and it doesn't always serve us. And so this time on our mat allows us to unravel patterns and behaviors and beliefs that aren't serving us. And essentially this can help us to relax, because we're not constantly kind of being driven by these unconscious behaviors and patterns and beliefs. And then gently just coming back to center, coming onto all fours for cat-cow. So cat-cow, the hands are underneath the shoulders, ish, the knees are underneath the hips. You can keep your toes tucked, your feet flat, doesn't matter. What does matter is we have a softness in the elbows, so we don't want to lock them out. We don't want the shoulders jamming up towards the ears. So with the breath, the inhale is there's a letting go of the belly and the low back, opening the heart space. And the exhale is a rounding through the back of the body. Don't lock the elbows out, nice and long in the back of the neck. Crown of the head is facing towards the earth. So just working with your own breath, okay? But make sure it's slow and steady. If you've had a busy day and you're just doing this video, if you've had a coffee or two and you're doing this video, you may find that you've sort of speeded up a little bit. So using cat-cow, inviting cat-cow just to slow you down. Our natural rhythm is much slower than the rhythm of life. Life is very fast. And so it's balance. It's having time to slow down, having time to come back into our natural rhythm. And this brings us into relaxation. The body has a chance to, come back into its natural rhythm. No hurry, but coming into a neutral spine. We're going to take a wide-legged cat-cow variation. So the knees are wide, the toes are touching. This time we keep the lumbar curve, so you've got to let go of your belly and allow your low back to have that nice curve there, and the heart space stays open. And we're going to move the pelvis back towards the heels, and it's not about getting all the way back. And if your back starts to round, then you come forward again to keep that lumbar curve. So a soft exhale out through the mouth, keep the elbows soft. Inhale, just breathing into the front of the heart. Exhale slowly, sending your buttocks back towards your heels. Maybe they get there, maybe they don't. We don't care. We have to learn not to care. Because it's not about the pose, it's about the breath. Inhale to come up. It's about cultivating our internal awareness. It's about a willingness to move into an internal space so we can start to unravel the identification that we have with the mind, the addiction that we all have to thinking and doing, and starting to come back into a more natural way of living, having pockets in our life where we come into balance, where we can take this time to slow down, to relax. And it takes practice because we don't get this opportunity a lot. Life is so demanding and so busy. So on the next exhale, if it's okay for you, just coming all the way down into what will be a wide-legged child's pose as you extend your arms forward, or you can use your hands to rest your head. And if this isn't okay for you, you can keep the torso upright. If your knees have got a lot to say about it, you can just come off them and just sit on the floor, okay? Whatever pose you're choosing to do, there's an ability now to invite the breath to breathe down into the base of the spine. So we're working with the energy of the breath, which we can send anywhere with our intention. So the intention is to breathe down into the base of the spine, and the energy of the breath is then received into that area of the physical and of the energy body. So the physical body is a part of our energy system. I'm just kind of using that terminology because it can make life a little bit easier for the mind to get its head around things. So one more breath. And then slowly, just coming back up onto all fours, we're going to move into downward facing dog. So bring your knees back in so they're underneath your hips. So down dog, just a reminder, okay, we want to really support our body when we're on our hands. So when you come into dog, it's not a locking out of the elbows or jamming shoulders up to ears. We want to keep a softness in the elbow crease and invite the shoulder blade to wrap in towards the armpit. And this helps to engage muscles that are very happy to support us when we're on our hands and gets us out of muscles that don't want to support us when we're on our hands, okay? So big palms when you look down, massive hands. Elbows are soft, and we're just, whether you've done this before or not, we're just inviting the shoulder blades to wrap in towards the armpits. Imagine you've got a beach ball that you're squeezing in between your upper arms and the elbow creases are soft. Releasing the neck, tucking the toes, and then coming up into downward facing dog. So no locking out of the elbows, no jamming your shoulders up towards your ears. And if your body is structured for the legs to straighten in downward facing dog, it's not because you've locked your knees out, okay? There's a softness in the knee creases, and we want to engage the quads, the front thighs. So you want to imagine you're pulling the skin above your knees up. And we take a moment here in downward facing, keep squeezing the upper arms together, a softness in the elbows, and letting go through the back of neck and the base of skull. Stay focused on the breath, one more. And then slowly walking up into Ragdoll. So walk the feet to the top of the mat. The feet are about hip width apart. The weight distribution is through the heels and the inner ankles. If you're a toe gripper like me, always tend to send the weight forward and then start to kind of really grip at the toes with an aggressive energy. So send it back. The knees are soft, the belly is hanging on or towards the thighs, and you can let your arms hang loose, unless you prefer to take a hold of opposite elbows. Crown of the head is facing down towards the earth, okay, so the back of the neck is long. Just taking a couple of breaths, so breathing up into the base of the spine.
To then exhale down the legs and out through the balls of the feet. Inhaling up into the base of spine. To then exhale down the spine and out through the crown of head. And then slowly, with the arms relaxed, exhale to roll up to standing. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat today. So rolling up through the low, the mid, and eventually the upper back as we come to standing in mountain. Mountain, sorry, is not a knee locking, toe gripping exercise, okay? So the weight is back through the heels and inner ankles. There's that softness in the knee creases as we invite the quads to engage. You want to imagine you're trying to squeeze your gluteal creases with your glutes, with your buttocks. So squeezing down and that lifting up through the crown of the head, extending energy out through the fingertips, mountain. Chair. Inhale, sit back into chair. So make sure in chair your shoulders aren't jamming up around your ears, so you may need to modify the position of your arms. Exhale, twist, left elbow, right thigh. You may find that your left knee comes forward here a lot, and that's okay because it's a reflection of what your SI joint needs to do. Make a fist with your left hand, cup it with your right. Inhale, top hand, it presses into bottom fist, so torso lifts. Exhale, shoulder blades down the back, navel and front rib cage draw in. So the left shoulder isn't jamming up around your ear, there's a sense of space, a softening of the neck. Look down towards the right big toe, and we're going to keep the twist and take the left leg back, so we're into high lunge twist. So look at your right big toe for balance and then take your left leg slowly back into high lunge twist. Keep pressing top hand into bottom fist, elbow into thigh, torso is lifting. Exhale, reach back through the left heel, reach forward through crown of head as navel and front rib cage draw in to initiate the twist. That steady breath that we connected into at the beginning of practice. Inhale, high lunge. Keep the legs where they are, bringing the torso up. So no compression in the low back. If it feels nice to open up your heart, you can do, but if all this does is jam into your low back, just soften the left knee slightly. That glute activation as we squeeze down towards the gluteal crease will initiate a neutral pelvis, so there's less compression in low back. Okay, so it's up to you what you want to do. It's up to your body. Listen to it, right? It will tell you. So one breath here. Coming back up into mountain, bring the left foot up. A moment here in mountain and we move into the other side. Inhale back into chair. Again, just an awareness of where your shoulders are in relation to your ears. Exhale, right elbow, left thigh. And again, your right knee may come forward and just let it. Right hand in a fist, left hand cups it. And then we press into the bottom hand, elbow into thigh, torso lifts. Exhale from the mid-torso, navel and front rib cage in, and that will initiate the twist if it's going to happen. Shoulders away from the ears, a softness in the neck, and that steady, even, supportive breath. Look down at your left big toe for balance. Right leg, slowly take it back, so we're into high lunge twist. Keep pressing elbow into thigh, so torso lifts, front rib cage and navel drawing on exhale to maybe explore a bit of rotation. Steady breathing. High lunge.
Legs where they are, bringing your torso up. You can have a more open-hearted high lunge if it's okay in your low back. If your low back isn't feeling it today, a more functional strengthening high lunge where you bend the right knee. We're trying to squeeze the right glutes towards the gluteal crease, and that brings in a neutral pelvis. So one is not better than the other. They're just different variations of a posture depending on what your body needs today. And then coming up into mountain. And from here we're going to take a roll down, so softening the knees, weight distribution into the heels and inner ankles. And then on the exhale, chin to chest, and we start to roll down through the upper, the mid, and then eventually the low back as we find ourselves back into Ragdoll. Arms can hang loose, you can take a hold of opposite elbows, but really long in the back of the neck. And again, we inhale up into the low back, to then exhale down the legs and out through the balls of the feet. Inhale up into the low back, to exhale down the spine and out through the crown of the head. And then slowly support yourself with your hands as you come and sit down, moving into a little cosmic hug. So you might like to do a really tight cosmic hug, a more spacious one, taking the feet out a little bit wider. Again, just softening chin to chest. Breathing down into the low back, the pelvis into the earth. And then gently, we're going to finish off with a pranayama, some breath work rather than shavasana. So coming into a comfortable position. So this is everything's always optional. We're going to do the 4-part breath, where we inhale for 4, pause for 4, exhale for 4, and pause for 4. Pauses can be very interesting. Sometimes we may find that they're not so comfortable for us to be in. So if you aren't feeling to do this, you can just inhale and exhale just in a natural, relaxed way, okay? If you'd like to give it a go, palms up or palms down, whatever you want to do. Close the eyes and take a soft exhale out through the mouth. Through the nose if you can, inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. And a slightly longer exhale. Feeling yourself just sinking into that space of relaxation that's always available to us, that we can access with the breath, with our intention, with a gentle movement practice, with stillness. Feeling the body being nourished as we stay here for 2 more breaths. And then very gently just opening the eyes. Thank you very much for joining me by choosing to watch this video. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.